everyone to Balance by Megan. I'm Megan. Today's yoga flow is timely with today. If you're doing this in real time, it is Remembrance Day here in Canada. And Remembrance Day is a chance for us to reflect, to honor the soldiers of ours who've gone off to war. It's a day for us to remember them. But rather than think about the dark side of that, I invite you to embody today's theme or intention of compassion. Compassion for ourselves, compassion for others. So think of that as we move through today's compassion flow. So grab your mat and let's create balance and compassion in your life. So, as stated in the opening of this flow, this yoga class or sequence, I invited each of you to embody the theme of compassion. So, what exactly is compassion? Compassion is love for ourselves, for others in the world. And we'll start this practice off with a metta. I don't want to say meditation, but like a metta practice. So, while we move through this flow, think of love. When we love ourselves, when we have an abundance of love within us, it allows us to spill our love out to others, to the world. Just imagine what this world would be if we all showed love, kindness, and compassion for each other. Some heavy stuff for starting this class off. So in a seated position, bring our hands together and we'll just rub them together, creating a little bit of heat, a little bit of friction, and rub the hands faster. Really, really actively feel the heat arising in your hands. We'll bring the hands to our heart space, feeling the warmth we've created, feeling that on our bodies. You might feel your heart beating beneath the palms of your hands. Take one more breath here. Exhale, release. Take your left arm underneath your right arm. And we'll come giving ourselves a hug, self-hug here. If that feels a little silly to you, just think of giving yourself, or assisting yourself in the upper back, upper body stretch. You might crawl those fingertips a little closer together. you, fingertips facing away from the body. Inhale, lift the heart. Let it shine up forwards towards the ceiling, the sky, wherever you're practicing from today. Lift, lift, lift. Send your heart and your love forward. Take one more breath here. And as you exhale, come forward. We'll send the right arm underneath this time, left arm on top. Give yourself a hug. And whether you find the concept of a self-hug silly, you'd rather think of it as a stretch, which it is. Think of that for a second. You're still showing yourself love, right? Maybe the upper back is tight today and this is just opening that for you. Self-love. Self-hug. Take another breath here. And as you exhale, send the fingertips once again behind, fingers pointing away. Inhale, lift the heart. Let your love shine. But it's true. Let it radiate out of you. Make sure that you're keeping your arms in line with the shoulders so that they're not outward awkwardly. Make sure you're not collapsing into your wrist, pressing into the fingertips rather. Breathe. Kind, filling breaths. Inhale. And as you exhale, walk onto your fingertips and walk back. And we'll come to a hero pose. So, bring the knees together, feet flush together. If it feels good for you, you might move the fleshy part of the calves out of the way and come to sit back on your heels. If this is not comfortable to you, you can take a block, place it underneath the ankles on the outside of the thighs. You can take a block or two. And if that still isn't in your practice, take a seat, seated position. So we're here in our hero pose. Spine nice and long, crown of the head reaching up, shoulders drawing away from the ears. Imagine being your own superhero. Or you can imagine your own hero, whoever that might be to you. We'll take another few breaths here. Just being our own hero, or imagining who ours is. Who ours is. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale, open the eyes if they were closed. So I want you to come up on your knees, bringing the feet flush together. So we're up nice and tall. And I want you to think about We're moving into a camel variation pose. So think about your thighs moving forward, and you can come to bring your hands behind you and they reach towards those ankles. You shine the heart forward. So rather than sinking back to try to hit those ankles, just be nice and tall over your knees, curve the back and reach. I mean, you don't have to touch the ankles, I certainly don't. But you just want this feeling of lifting your heart up. And if the curve doesn't work for you, just stay here. Take another few breaths here. And if you're in camel, come back. You might want to watch the screen for this. I'll try to cue you properly. Bend down, your right fingertips sweep the mat, and we come up into a flow, camel flow, gazing to the left. Inhale, arm comes down, left fingertips sweep the mat, and we reach up. Inhale down, exhale up and over, lifting that heart. And if the bending of the knees doesn't work for you here, you can just do it here and just stay where you are. You're still getting a nice stretch, a nice flow going. And this is all about self-love. So what works for you today, honor that, roll with that. We'll do a couple more. One more, wherever you are. And come back to center. Come to sit back on your heels. Fingertips swim behind you. And come into a child's pose. Balasana. Think of this concept of being a little ball of love. Take a few breaths here. Next inhale, come up, exhale, come all the way up. We'll take our hands behind us, fingertips facing in this time. We lean back, lift the heart. You might be here, you can come onto your fist if your wrists are a little sensitive. Exhale, release. Come forward, hands come forward. Curl the toes underneath. Come into a plank pose first, just to get your alignment. Inhale here. Exhale, send it up. Downward facing dog. So pedaling the feet here. Finding a little bit of movement in the body. Might find a moment of stillness if that feels okay for you. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees. And you might walk, hop, or jump to the front of the mat. Feet flush together. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips can come to the thighs, the shins, or your mat. Keep that spine long. Inhale, Exhale, fold. Nose comes towards the knees. Inhale, pressing into the corners of the feet, the middle of the heel. Roll up. Roll the shoulders behind you. Come into a mountain pose. Take a few breaths here. Coming back to our intention or a theme of the class. Inhale, reach the arms up. Palms kiss. Exhale, fold. Fingertips in line with the toes here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And as you inhale, come back up. Arms reach up. Palms kiss overhead. Draw your hands to your heart space. And pick your left heel up and slide it behind you, coming into a heel to arch alignment. You might have to widen your stance, and we're coming into a warrior two pose. Yes, so long edge of your back foot in line with the short edge of the mat. Make sure you can see your front big toe on the inside of the knee. Take a few breaths here in warrior two or Virapradasana two. Inhale here, and as you send the fingertips forward, exhale, lift them up and back, peaceful warrior. One breath. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, send it back. Inhale here. Exhale, fingertips come along your back leg, or they might take the bind here. Move through just one more of these warrior two to peaceful warrior flows. Inhale up. Exhale, come back. Take your front toe to face the side of your mat here. Your toes facing forward. Long edges of the feet in line, short edges of the mat. Feel as though you're squeezing a bolster between your legs. That'll activate the inside. Take our hands to our hips. Take a breath here. Interlace the hands behind you. Draw the knuckles down and away. Inhale, lift the heart. As you exhale, send the hips back. Crown comes forward and towards the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep that spine nice and long. Exhale, fold forward. Still feeling as though you are squeezing the bolster between your feet. Your knuckles are drawing actively up and away from the body. And if this doesn't work for you, bring your hands to your hips. Take one more breath here. As you take an inhale here, come up halfway. Exhale, come all the way up. Release the hands. Take your back foot now. Face the toes to the back edge of your mat. You might have to widen your stance again, but we want that heel to arch alignment. Warrior two, to the back end of our mat. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Sink into that back knee. This back knee, facing the back of the mat, sorry. Inhale here. Exhale. Take a few more breaths here. From here, we'll move into our warrior 2 to peaceful warrior flow. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, send it back. Peaceful warrior. Inhale, forward. Exhale, send it back. And you know what to do, so sync up with your breath. Take one more wherever you are. We'll meet in warrior 2. Take the back toes, have them facing the same way as your other toes. Edge of the mat, side of the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, hands come behind. Interlace the opposite thumb on top so it should feel awkward. If that doesn't work for you, you can clasp the elbows behind you. Inhale, lift the heart. Squeeze those legs together. As you exhale, you'll fold. Head draws towards the mat. Take a breath. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. And stay here in your wide-legged forward fold for a few breaths. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come up all the way. Release the hands. Heel toe in slightly. And come to stand at the front of the mat. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bending the knees if needed. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Find what works for you today. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, fingertips in line with the toes. Slide the right toes back. Slide the left toes back. One breath in plank. Send it up to downward facing dog. And I like cueing the plank first because that should be the width of your downward facing dog. Sometimes we want those heels to reach the mat, so we'll walk our bodies in a position that allows us to do so. But that will come with time. This should be the alignment your body is in. So fingertips are spreading like the rays of the sunshine. We're pressing into our hands. Our tailbone lifts up and our heels draw towards the mat. Take one more breath here. And as you exhale, knees touch the mat. Legs come together, really together. Send the fingertips behind. Once again, here I'll come a little forward. Once again, the fingertips face the body. Inhale, lift the chest. And as you exhale, come up onto the fingertips. And to end this sequence, you can stay in your hero pose on your knees. You can come to a seated position, cross-legged. But we'll bring the hands back to our heart. We'll rub them together, bringing a little bit of warmth into our lives so that we may transfer it to others. Really rub them together and bring them to the heart space. Feel your heart beating beneath the warmthness of your hands. Take a few breaths here. And again, just think about the theme of today. And while we often think of compassion as giving it to others, remember that in order to give love to others, we first have to love ourselves. And when we love ourselves, we share that love, that warmth, that kindness to others and to the world. Some powerful stuff. Bring your hands into a prayer position in the heart. Just take a moment to honor yourself for being here today on the mat. Draw the hands up to the third eye, with the place between our brows. Bow when we say, may the light in me honor the love, the kindness in the universe and in everyone else. Namaste.